Hello, y'all. This video is going to be about the importance and the presence of the males in your life and in others' lives. So, the male or the man, it's important to have them present because what happens is when that presence is not there, that opens up a window of opportunity for people with cluster B disorders, sociopaths, narcissists, and psychopaths to take advantage of people. So I'm going to give you some examples. The Uber driver that just shot and killed the teenage passenger. I guess he claimed his door was slammed. There was some kind of argument or dispute over the drop-off point or whatever. When somebody cold-bloodedly just gets out of their vehicle after somebody slammed the door and shoots somebody down, you can't necessarily believe their full story. I mean, it may not have been an argument. The teenager might have just stated, my drop-off point is up there. This so-called door being slammed could have just been he closed the door. But remember, narcissists, sociopaths, and psychopaths, they take things a different way. They hear the door close. To them, that means it's slammed. Okay, they're adding things to the story that are not there or present or actually didn't happen. So in that case, the teenager was in the car with the Uber driver alone. The mom paid for the Uber, of course, or another family member, and she was just trying to get her teenage son safe. And so why not do Uber? I've done the same thing. However, the mom of the teenage boy did not know that the Uber driver had that kind of a record, and she would have never thought in a million years that this crazy narcissist would get out of his vehicle and shoot her son down like that. So that's what happened. But the importance and the presence of the male or the man is the male or the man was not there. The abusive narcissist that was the Uber driver, he also had an abuse background. He is not scared or afraid of this teenager. This teenager, being much smaller than him in size and in age, much younger than him, was a primary victim. And he was alone without a male or man in the Uber car. So that's the importance of the male. There's going to be more crime with narcissists involved when there's no man around the victim. So another case would be the lady that was in the McDonald's that had the dispute over the cheese. She had paid for the cheese. She has a lawyer now. However, she was without a male or man in the McDonald's. So when the police came, they beat her up, hit her in her mouth, loosened her teeth up, hit her in the face. I think they injured her back. Another case where there's no presence of the male or man. Let me think of another case. Okay, there's this other case I was just watching where the lady was in the store. Okay, and she was a maybe like a grandmother or at least middle-aged. She looked really good for her age, but I'm assuming because of the family dynamics and the people that were on the platform talking about the case that she is a grandmother or a mom of adult children. But like I said, she looked really good for her age. So in this case, the store employees put their arms around her neck, put her in a chokehold, was grabbing on her, talking to her bad and stuff like that. She was not in the presence of a man or a male because I think in that case they were outside. I think they were parked outside, so they were nearby, so that helped. But another thing I want to point out, a lot of times there's no male or man around because they were sociopaths or narcissists or psychopaths. So these men and women had to flee these situations, right? So what this does is makes them more vulnerable to be under attack because they are alone under other narcissists. Okay, I'll give you another example. Like a video I just uploaded about the dog robber narcissist. I was alone when that happened. Now, when I'm with the males in the family, even if they're just a teenager or young adults or any older men, when I'm with a male, that does not happen to me. So I'm telling you, the proof is there. That only happened because I was by myself. However, there's just going to be times where I'm just going to be by myself. I have to be by myself because the other family members or friends, they may have something else to do. They may be at their jobs. They may be at school. They may be at meetings. They may be at events. So, however, the moral of the story is this. Okay, we know that there's narcissists, sociopaths, and psychopaths. What can we do about it? What we can do is decide that the presence of the male or the men for boys and girls, for women and men, is much more important than we ever could think. Because when something happens like with that dog robber narcissist incident, just listen to that video of what happened to me. I was alone without a male or man. That would not have even have happened if I would have been with a teenage relative. That man that did that and antagonized me that way would have thought twice about that. So understanding the vulnerabilities and the crimes of opportunity. Narcissists are opportunists. So start thinking about including the men more. The safe men, not the narcissists, not the abusers, not those men that's going to be around you causing the trouble, causing violence, causing emotional abuse, financial abuse, and those things. But realize the importance of that. A lot of homes would not be broken into because people see the males and the men coming in and out of the home, right? So, for example, I'm unarmed. I have no pistol, shotgun, or anything like that. However, nobody's broke in because at the end of the day, they see males coming in and out. They see male relatives coming in and out, right? So I have never had that happen. Now, could it happen even though the men are in the home? Yes, it does happen, but it's less likely to happen. So anyway, I promote, and I think it's a good thing for you to consider, all men and women to consider, to have the men around much, much more. And empathic men don't mind doing it, y'all. A lot of them are going to volunteer for it. So let them help you so that we're less likely to be victims of crimes, victims of harassment, victims of theft because the men are around. I very rarely am alone, okay? Like I said, like with the dog robber incident, I chose to leave to go look for my relative, right? I could have stayed home. My male relative even told me, you should have stayed home. Why did you leave? Okay, and so I put myself in that situation. I was able to do a video about it. You know, who cares as long as a good video comes out of it? I'm safe. However, just notice when you watch these cases, I'm going to put some of these cases in my playlist so you can watch some of them. And you may notice in a lot of those cases that a lot of these males and females, teenagers, women, young men. The males and men are not around. And so that's why they ended up in those circumstances. So just think about this. Try to maybe not be alone so much. And then less crime will happen. Because these narcissists, I promise you, that Uber driver that got out of his car and shot that teenager like that, and that's not self-defense. When the person has got out of your car, closed your door, you should drive off. He got out of his car, walked around and shot that little boy like that. That's not self-defense. He should be in jail, in prison. But I promise you this. If that boy would have been in that Uber car with his daddy or one of his uncles or even a big brother, that crazy nutcase Uber driver would have thought twice. That sociopath and that psychopath would have thought twice. And that man, that Uber driver, he ain't just no narcissist. He's more. He's something else. He's had an abuse history of beating up on his ex-wife. He had a horrible driving record. He shouldn't have even been driving for Uber in the first place. And he was a dangerous man. However, it happened because there was no man with that little boy or that teenage boy. Very handsome boy. He looks a lot like his mom to me. His mom is a very pretty lady. I was watching the interview. It just broke my heart to see it and to see the pain and grief that she's going through over her teenage son getting killed like that. So anyway, keep this in mind. I just wanted to share these thoughts with you. And please like, share, and subscribe. I've been 12 minutes on this bike so far. I love y'all. And bye.